In this voter mapping and constituent mapping video, we are going to go through the process of using the new to state movers branch. This is a new branch created by L2 underneath area selections that allows users to see those voters that have moved out of another state, filed a permanent move, national change of address, and moved to a new state. In this case, we're going to be looking at California. So here's how it works. When somebody, let's say, was a registered voter in New York, but they decided they're going to move to California, they then file a national change of address form with the Postal Service, permanently moving them to a new state. So what L2 does is remove that individual from the New York State voter file. They are then moved to California. We do not add them back into the database until they are registered to vote in California. Once they come onto the rolls, then we put them into the database. So they're in voter mapping, and if you're receiving the data through another method, they are there as well. Under area selections, new to state, you can see all the different breakdowns here. You have first the flag of whether they are new to state. So you can see in the past 4 years, which is how far back we were able to go with the national change of address system, although we will be cumulatively adding individuals over time. 4 years is currently the maximum length back in time we can go. So this goes back to the middle of 2017 currently as of the date of this video. But what you're able to do is come in here and see new to state, yes or no. Here's your 175,574 individuals that moved to California from another state who were registered voters and filed a national change of address permanent move. From there, you can go to the state from which they moved. And if you do a quick sort by clicking the top column here, you can see the biggest states where we found movers from were New York, Texas, Washington, Illinois, Arizona, Oregon, Florida, and so on down. You can even see by clicking in here, you can separate New York or other states simply by making the selection here and then digging into those individuals who moved to different areas. Also included in this branch are the date the individual moved. Again, it only goes back 4 years. So what you can do is deselect unknowns. You see almost all the data, has a known date associated with it. And we can do on and after. And let's say we want to do January 1st, 2020. So January 2020, click on 1. You could see that 57,005 individuals moved to the state of California after January 1st, 2020. If we wanted to get even more granular, we could say go into county, and then I'll go into San Francisco. You can see there's 2,155 of those individuals since January 1st. You could see where all the individuals are throughout the county. And from there, you can even dig into some further data. So let's take this small group of 2,155 and first look at the party affiliation of these individuals. You could see that 62% were Democratic from the state which they moved from. So we can select any state and see what their party affiliation was in their previous state. So mostly Democratic or nonpartisan, with only about 4.5% as registered Republicans from those previous states. And as you can see, they're scattered throughout the map here. Now, this voter party affiliation from the previous state is independent of their current party affiliation. So if I look at those previously registered Republicans, it looks like when I look at the party affiliation that they chose after they moved, about 40% stuck with Republican, 35% went Democrat, 17% went nonpartisan, and some other minor parties were also mentioned in there. We then deselect, and below that you can then see their turnout in their previous elections. Now, in the past, when somebody had moved from another state, we typically would not carry over their voting history. Now you can look at those individuals who are new to an area. So while these numbers appear small now, as new people continue to move in and L2 continues to aggregate these individuals and in a cumulative way add them, you are going to be able to see more and more individuals' vote history, even though they moved from out of state within a certain period of time. So in this case, again, those 2,155 people that moved from January 1st, 2020 to the Bay Area, or to San Francisco County, you now are able to use this branch to see that among voting performance in even year generals, for whatever period of time they were voting in their previous state. Let's say it was 8 years. So they had 4 even year general election opportunities and they voted in 2 out of 4 of them. They would be a 50% voter. There's 341 of those individuals that fit the criteria we have selected. Let's say they were able to vote just in 2020 and they took the opportunity. That makes them a 100% voter. Or maybe they could have voted in 10 even year general elections and they voted in all 10 of them. Again, 100% voter. Below that, you have not eligible. These 54 individuals registered to vote after the 2020 general election, the last even year general, and then filed a national change of address and moved to California and then re-registered or registered and got on the rolls. So that's the not eligible category. We have this obviously for the entire current voter population, but we also have it among this population, these new movers, for even year primaries in a previous state. We have it for even year generals and primaries combined. And then performance in minor elections. Now, minor elections are every other election. So that would include specials, local municipal elections, recall elections, anything that sort of falls off the beaten path of primaries and generals or presidential primaries. And that is how you use the new to state mover branch.